he saw the wickedness of all the other people, he was sorry that he had ever even created man. So God said he's going to wipe out the entire human race from the earth. But luckily, and he was going to kill all the people, all the animals, so all the elephants. He's going to kill all the birds, all the small animals, every single thing, because he was so sorry that everyone was so wicked. But there was only one person that was still righteous, and that was Noah. And Noah walked in close fellowship with God. So that means he had a relationship with God. So Noah was the only righteous person on the entire earth. He walked in close fellowship with God. So him and God were like this. Alright? So then God said he was going to destroy the entire earth and all the people. So God told Noah to build an ark. It's 450 feet long. So that's 1.5 football fields long. And it's 75 feet wide and 45 feet high. Then God told Noah that it was going to rain and there's going to be a flood that was going to flood the entire earth. And he told Noah how to build the ark. So Noah started working on the ark. Noah and his 3 sons. So here they are, working hard, building this ark. It took them years and years to build it. And all the people were like, no, why are you building a boat? Because it's never rained before. Rain wasn't a thing yet. They're like, no, why are you building a boat? Like, what's water? What's rain? He's like, God told me. And they're like, oh, you're stupid. But he believed God. So then, they kept working, and finally, they finished the ark. It was a beaut. By the time Noah finished it, guess how old he was?
Like 240.
600. Noah was 600 years old when he finished that boat.
He was 500 when he started?
Yeah, he was an old man. But back then, people aged a lot slower. So he wasn't like old and frail. And yeah, so then, when Noah finished building, him and all of his family, they went into the ark. Then there's Noah and his wife, and then Noah had 3 sons, and all their wives came onto the boat. And then there's all the bystanders here who are like, oh, he built the ark, what's he thinking? Because they didn't even know. But then, Noah and his family walked into the boat, and then right after them came all the animals, 2 by 2. So 2 of every single animal. 2 elephants, 2 giraffes, 2 flies.
2 wolves, 2 flies, no. 2 bees. Flies. 2 wasps.
There's 2 flies that just came in there. 2 rats. Snakes, every type of snake came in there. They all slithered in there. So it started to rain. Guess how many days it rained?
Like 40.
Yep, 40 days. Can you imagine it raining for 40 days and nights non-stop? The flood water started to rise, and then all the people drowned. All the animals drowned. The only people who survived was Noah and everyone else in the ark. After 40 days, it stopped raining, and the flood water started to slowly recede. And recede means to like go back. So they were in the ark for 5 months. So after 5 months, the waters came down enough so that the boat could rest on some of the high mountains, like Mount Everest might have been on top of there, who knows. And then they waited another 2.5 months, so now it's been 7.5 months. And now other mountain peaks were starting to form. As in, the water went low enough so you could see them.
What about the part where they sent out the bird?
I'm getting to that. So then, after another 40 days, Noah opened the window. He opened his little window right here, and he let out the dove. And the dove went around flying, looking for like land to stay on, like a tree or something, but it came back to him. So he's like, oh, there's no place for it to land. It's still wet outside. Because I couldn't open the door because then water would come flying in. So Noah waited another week, and then he released the dove again. And it went out, but this time it was gone longer. And this time it came back with an olive in its mouth.
An olive leaf.
Yeah. And came back. So then Noah waited another 7 days, and he released it, but this time it didn't come back. So he knew that the water had dried up, or that the water was almost gone. So then, now Noah was 601, pretty old guy. And they all opened up the door and they looked out, but it was all just mud. So they had to wait another 2 months, and finally the ground was dry and they could walk on it and stuff. So they all went out, and so they were inside the boat for a total of 10 and a half months. Can you guys imagine being in a boat for 10 and a half months?
Constantly moving.
Yeah.
Drowsy outside.
Talk about seasickness. The ground was all dry. So then God came. We'll just pretend this is God.
That is God.
He came and told Noah and all of his family, his wife and his sons. He said, leave the boat, all of you, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Release all the animals so they can be fruitful and multiply throughout the earth. So you know how 2 of every animal came, a male and a female? So then they could go out and repopulate the entire earth. God promised them, I will never again destroy all living things. And God gave them the rainbow as a sign that he would never do that again. Exactly right. So that's where the rainbow comes from. So if your friends ask you, tell them. So you know how in the beginning, when Noah was starting to build the boat, he was here, he was building the boat, and everyone else, what were they saying to him?
You're crazy, man.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Sounds Jamaican.
Why are you building a boat?
Yeah, man.
But even though everyone else was trying to tell him, oh, don't build a boat, you don't need to do that, what did Noah do?
He did it anyway.
Yeah, he kept
He
building
obeyed
the boat
God.
because God told him to.
And believe.
So, in your guys' lives, if you ever feel like other people telling you, oh, don't do that, and they're trying to tell you what to do that's against what God would say, what do?
Do it.
Do what?
Do it. As a wise Nike once said, just do it.
Do what? Do what God said?
Yes, just do it.
What if people tell you to like disobey your parents?
No.
Don't do it?
No.
Yeah, don't do it. What if people tell you to like disobey what the Bible says?
No.
No?
No.
What if it's just a small thing?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sure. Don't do
Good.
it.
Exactly. That's what Noah did, and God counted him as righteous,